سبحانك لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا
في المدينة
محمد نبينا بنور هدينا محمد نبينا بنور هدينا.
Wannan bitan
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, has embarked on a nationwide enlightenment campaign to create awareness amongst pilgrims and stakeholders on the preparations for 2018 Hajj, as well as the new policies introduced by Saudi authorities.
Biometric data so as to enable...
Speaking at the event, which took place in Kaduna for the Northwest Zone, NAHCON Commissioner of Operations Alhaji Abdullahi Modibo Saleh said the Commission is discussing with Saudi Arabia on ways of having biometric data capturing centers in each state.
We are hopeful that the Saudi Arabian authorities are going to respond positively. We have seen indications that the centers may be increased between now and the time of end of processing of departures for Hajj. But meanwhile, it is in our interest, in view of the smallness in number of these centers, for us to pay early so that you can be invited early enough for the capture of the biometric data.
Alhaji Saleh urged all stakeholders as well as intending pilgrims to do their best in ensuring that the 2018 registration is completed before the deadline set by NAHCON. Participants at the sensitization program said the campaign will go a long way in addressing many issues.
That the enlightenment program is starting early enough, because people really need to know why they go on Hajj. Most people take their time, spend their time more on buying things and some other irrelevant things. They should know the purpose for which they're going for Hajj.
People that come from the local remote areas, so they are not aware of all these things, and it may be a setback to the present government actually, but if the Saudi Arabian government will understand the situation and make it increase the number of the biometric centers, that would be good.
Similarly, NAHCON also organized a town hall meeting in Lagos for pilgrims and stakeholders from the southwest. Speaking at the event, NAHCON Commissioner for Policy, Personnel Management and Finance, Alhaji Yusuf Adebayo, called on participants to meet up the March deadline for the registration of pilgrims. The Commissioner further called on state pilgrims boards to be more proactive in the education of pilgrims, particularly on VAT and the biometric data capturing introduced by Saudi government. He advised pilgrims to be prudent in their spending, as the VAT will affect the price of goods and services. Alhaji Adebayo said the Saudi policy requiring pilgrims repeating the Hajj to pay 2,000 Saudi is still in operation, and urged pilgrims to note. The sensitization campaign is expected to take place across the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, has made refunds of nearly 419 million naira to Batch B states, which comprise of 11 states, the FCT and armed forces. The refund is in respect of services that were either poorly or not rendered at all during the 2017 Hajj exercise. The states are Borno, 74,341,153 naira; Benue, 1,121,899 naira 80 kobo; Edo, 5,253,190 naira 18 kobo; Ondo, 2,792,059 naira and 54 kobo; FCT, 40,765,407 naira 54 kobo; Jigawa, 26,236,602 naira 50 kobo. Others are Katsina 110,823,723 naira 35 kobo. Kogi 22,498,918 naira 35 kobo. Kwara 28,760,284 naira 77 kobo. Lagos 30,896,886 naira 60 kobo. Nasarawa 15,071,157 naira 15 kobo. Niger 52,898,644 naira 98 kobo, as well as the armed forces 7,532,380 naira 1 kobo. NAHCON in the first installment made the refund of 401,291,658 naira 41 kobo to Batch A, comprising of 11 states.
The purpose of this brief comment about the coming Hajj is to encourage and give support to intending pilgrims regarding the need to prepare, but also the need to hasten in the preparation as we move closer to the deadlines. However, because of our own special situations in Nigeria and in the wisdom of the Hajj Commission in collaboration and consultation with the various pilgrim welfare boards across the states, they have put the 31st of March as the deadline, and that is very close a date. It's just less than 2 months away. The expected number of pilgrims from the country is put at a cap of about 95,000 people. That's a lot of people. It's not easy to manage that kind of crowd. And so the sooner we book, the sooner we register, the sooner we pay, the better for the whole process, the better for us, and the greater assurance we have that inshallah we will be among the pilgrims going in 2018.
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة.
As preparations for the 2018 Hajj gathers momentum, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria (NAHCON) has approved 117 travel agencies, better known as tour operators, to take part in the Hajj exercise. This is sequel to the screening of 144 companies that applied to participate in the 2018 Hajj operations. What are the requirements a tour operator must meet before getting approval from NAHCON?
1. The company must have been licensed by the Corporate Affairs Commission of Nigeria with share capital of not less than 30 million. 2. The company must have been a regular taxpayer, including VAT remittances. And after you must have obtained our form, fill the form, we still have to allow relevant government security agencies to conduct security checks on the applicant. Who are the directors? Who are those people behind the company? Just to ascertain and confirm to the commission that yes, those people behind this company, they are fit to organize Hajj and Umrah.
The Commission said that the companies that did not scale through the screening exercise were found wanting for the following reasons: substandard service delivery to pilgrims, late submission of registration forms, expiration of licenses, indebtedness to NAHCON, among others.
If at any point in time the Commission discovers that a particular licensed company is not operating in tandem with the regulations, the Commission has the power to withdraw. Even at times, if there is any need for us to hand over such licensed company to relevant security agencies, we have the mandate, and we still have the mandate to impose fine where necessary.
However, the affected companies appealed to NAHCON for reconsideration, and this was granted. For the distribution of the 20,000 slots allocated to tour operators, NAHCON developed a system of grading the companies in order to determine the number of pilgrims to be allocated to each tour operator.
If this year you are on grade A, if by next year you perform otherwise, it's possible to go down to grade B, C, D. And it's possible this year a company is on grade C or grade D, but during the next Hajj is able to excel, then definitely he or she will just move to grade B or A.
Furthermore, the Inspectorate Unit of the Commission also carried out the inspection of companies to assess their facilities. The Hajj package to be offered by the companies must also meet NAHCON's standard of service delivery to pilgrims.
All licensed companies for 2018 Hajj to submit their package to the Commission for approval before they release it to the members of the public. We want to know details of your package as per your flight arrangement, your accommodation in Mecca and Medina, your tent arrangement. Is it tent A plus? Is it tent A or B plus? Categories of the hotel in both Mecca and Medina. All these are very, very important information. The Commission has to approve this package before you release them to the members of the public. Because in the past, we have received complaints from members of the public that, yes, before I go for Hajj, I've made payment for grade A, but on getting to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, I was provided with grade C.
The tour operators that made the selection process testified that NAHCON's regulation is giving them the challenge and encouragement to do their best and to ensure that pilgrims get value for their money.
We look onto all the challenges that we have. We look at the experience of 2017 Hajj. We come out with a lot of suggestions on how to improve it in terms of the transportation, in terms of the feeding, in terms of the accommodations, and the like of it.
The necessary arrangements have been put in place. We've already concluded our things, and inshallah we believe that we are going to have a better Hajj than last year. Though our house was adjudged last year as one of the best house for the tour operator, we want to improve from that one.
With the registration for the 2018 Hajj still ongoing, tour operators are also expected to meet up with the deadline given by the Ministry of Hajj in Saudi Arabia.
The Saudi Ministry of Hajj, they have fixed a particular date, and the onus lies on the Commission to work and make sure we perfect our arrangements before the final date given by the Ministry of Hajj. So I still want to plead with them to respect these days and make sure they comply with the requirements.
NAHCON advises intending pilgrims who are registering with the tour operators to make sure that they do so with the approved companies in order to avoid being defrauded.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, urged all intending pilgrims to seek knowledge on how to perform Hajj and Umrah in order to attain the desired results. To achieve this, NAHCON directs all the pilgrims' welfare boards and agencies as well as tour operators to organize enlightenment programs for all the intending pilgrims from date of payment to commencement of operations. It is your right to be educated on how to perform Hajj and Umrah. For more information, visit guide.nigeriahajcom.gov.ng. or send an email to info@nigeriahajcom.gov.ng. This message is brought to you by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON.
When proceeding for Hajj or Umrah, intending pilgrims are expected to prepare themselves on how to perform the rites associated with the exercise as enjoined by Islam. The preparations are spiritual, educational, financial, as well as physical, among others.
To go to Hajj.
On Hajj Talk tonight, Sheikh Ahmad Onilewura is our guide. He begins by explaining the requirements by intending pilgrims embarking on Hajj.
They must have knowledge of what they are going for. They don't have to be scholars. They don't have to be erudite scholars. At least know the minimum knowledge of what you are going for. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Hadith al-Qudusi told Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Fa'arifuni qabla an ta'buduni wa in lam ta'rifuni fa kayfa ta'buduni." Know me before you worship me. If you don't know me, how will you worship me? That is, you cannot know Allah physically, but you will know the knowledge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about what you are going for. It's very important.
What must an intending pilgrim do for his family before leaving for the Hajj?
You cannot go to Hajj without leaving adequate money to your family. Your Hajj will not be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if you don't prepare good living for your family before you travel. It's unfair for you to go to Hajj and your children will be begging on the street. It's unfair to go to Hajj and your daughter become prostitute because of living. It's unfair to you to go to Hajj and your wife will be suffering. So before you can go on Hajj, full preparation must be given to your family before you leave home for Hajj, and keep praying to Allah to return you to them safely.
The Islamic scholar says intending pilgrims must seek the forgiveness of members of their family and the society before embarking on the journey for Hajj.
You should settle amicably. You are traveling to a place you have never been or where you were last month or last year. What is the guarantee you are coming back home? What is the guarantee? Resolve any misunderstanding between you and your family members, between you and your co-workers, between you and your neighbors, between you and all the people Allah created you to be with. Your children, your wives, your husbands, and so on and so forth. Make sure you have amicable solution to any misunderstanding between you and them. Forgive them. Seek for their forgivenesses. If they do not forgive, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive you. So make sure that your mind is clear. You have no rancor. You have no misunderstanding. You have no problem. You are not fighting anybody. You go there with clean and true mind to observe, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's very important.
Can a person borrow money to go for Hajj?
Borrowing money to go to Hajj. Some go and beg. Some go and borrow money to pay for Hajj, to go to Hajj. Definitely Allah will not accept your Hajj, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not make going to Hajj compulsory. It is not mandatory. It is not obligatory. So it's based on if you can afford it. وَحَجَّ الْبَيْتِ لِمَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلًا. And the fifth pillar of Islam is pilgrimage to Mecca and Medina if you can afford it. Allah has already put the condition there.
Sheikh Onilewura highlights the position of Islam in the case of an intending pilgrim being indebted to others.
You cannot go on pilgrimage and owe people so much money. You are indebted to many people. And you are probably going to Hajj with the money you borrow from them. I've already said it before. pilgrimage will not be accepted from someone who go out to borrow money to pay for the pilgrimage. So if you are indebted to people, you are not among the people you cannot afford pilgrimage going to Hajj by owing people so much money. I'm not talking of 1,000, 2,000 or 3,000. No. That's minor something. But if you're in thousands, in what? In millions, in billions, in business transactions and everything, settle that one. Because there's no guarantee that you come back to them. If in your destination that Allah already declined on you that you will die on Hajj. Some people died on Hajj, so many. Their time came when they get to Hajj.
What about the medical needs of the intending pilgrim?
If you are sick and that sickness, you have certain special treatment and medicine that you use. Make sure that you get paper, recognized letter from your doctor, from government hospitals.
The Imam points out that the most important of all the preparations for intending pilgrims is the fear of Allah.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, urges all intending pilgrims from all states of the Federation to start installment payments of at least 300,000 naira monthly for this year's Hajj from November 2017 to March 2018.
The payments and registration should be made at respective state Muslim pilgrims welfare offices nationwide through the NAHCON online registration portal at www.nigeriahajcom.gov.ng free of charge. Therefore, no fee is required for any form for the 2018 Hajj registration at all, nor by the pilgrims registration officers of the state's board.
Payments could be made by bank draft or online platforms of the state pilgrims welfare offices, and receipt must be collected there and then. No cash payment to any person.
All intending pilgrims traveling through states Muslim pilgrims welfare agencies, boards, commissions, and those traveling using tour operators must note that the 2018 Hajj calendar requires that by March ending, all payments must have been concluded in Nigeria to finalize preparations against the May 2018 deadline for the closure of Saudi Hajj portal.
This message is from the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria.
والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك